Hi everyone. Today we are going to talk about something very important. See, as a psychologist, most of the time I get people who talk to me that they have a relationship issue and their broken emotions, their broken relationship is causing them so much of depression, so much of fear in their life that they wanted some kind of a support that they wanted to fix to overcome this particular scenario. So today in this video, I'm going to tell you about 6 things you can do if you are in a broken relationship. Of course, we are actually in the month of February, which is called as a month of Valentine, love and things like that. But even today, I have seen people. Of course, every human might had a chance to actually come across a scenario where they actually might got a relationship issue. This is a common thing that we most of us would have came across. But understand something, like not everyone knows the fix to actually overcome that particular scenario of the period in which they are facing the emotional struggle to overcome that broken relationship issue. And the second thing is, I'm going to give you 6 quick hacks in case if you have a relationship which is actually in the verge of getting broken. You can actually add a flavor to it, and then you can actually bring it back to liveliness, make it a more comfortable, good relationship, enhance the relationship so that you can live a more happier life. All right, I hope definitely this video is going to help you out. Let's quickly jump on into today's content. So the number one thing that, as a person, if in case you have a broken relationship and you just underwent a broken relationship and you wanted to overcome that, is, see, when a person in a broken relationship condition, one thing for sure that the person would be experiencing is more of the emotion. This is not only from one side, it happens on both the sides, because love is actually a kind of a feeling that has so much of emotions that is passing by. So the first thing you need to handle is the emotion in a much better way, in a positive way. So I strongly suggest you can go ahead and purchase a diary. Start journaling all your emotions. See, jotting down your emotion, whatever that comes in your mind, in a piece of paper, in a diary, is going to help you out to balance it, to get yourself grounded. Because sometimes what happens, out of emotions we talk so much, even including myself, and saying, when we are into anger, when we are into kind of a depression, what happens, the first and foremost thing that we do is we utter words that we are not supposed to. We hurt the other person in such a way that we are not conscious of doing that. It happens to every person. So first, handle your emotion by journaling. The second thing you need to do is go ahead and practice gratitude. Why I say this? Sometimes we unconsciously forget the fact that so many good things would have happened in that particular relationship, of course in our life as well, but we never ever look back and see, oh my god, there is so much of positive thing that has happened, but I am just thinking only about that particular scenario where we ended up in a kind of a fight or a conversation, a negative conversation. So we miss out on the gratitude part. So please go ahead and practice gratitude. Particularly when you are in a relationship issue, I hardly suggest, I strongly suggest you go ahead and practice gratitude. Whatever the good things that has happened to you, 20 to 30 gratitudes. It can be before night, it can be at night before you sleep, or it can be sometimes in the morning, the moment when you wake up. Just keep a diary, same journal that you are using, start writing all the good things that happened to you. And the third thing I wanted to tell you is, see, sometimes we mess up things so much in a way that we don't give other person much time to realize what is happening, because it's kind of a flood that we are actually, flood of emotion that we are pouring in a kind of fight or something. So what happens is, you need to understand the fact that the other person needs some time to overcome whatever the emotion, whatever the scenario has happened, and then they wanted to come back. So third thing is, whenever you had a fight or something, maybe with your spouse, maybe with your loved ones, it can be your parents or anybody, friends or anybody for that matter, just understand that the other person, what is actually expecting is more of time to realize the fact something has happened. They also need to go ahead and analyze, come back from the emotions that they have gone through out of the hurt that has happened, and then they wanted to realize the fact. So give the other person enough time. And the fourth thing you need to do is, if possible, you can actually go ahead and empathize. You need to empathize. You need to actually go ahead and make them understand with your better communication that whatever that has happened, you can apologize, or you can try to convey the best thing that has happened in your life, meaning in both in your relationship, and try to make the other person realize the fact that you have unknowingly, or you by mistake has underwent such kind of a uttered such kind of a word, or behaved in a bad way, that the things has happened. Even if the mistake, see, sometimes we need to stoop to conquer. So I always say this to my students also, stoop to conquer. So you need to understand the fact in life, particularly in relationship, see, where you wanted to value someone so much, in that case you need to first understand that it's the person more important than my own ego. So when you wanted to do that, so you need to actually understand the fact that it's not about who made the mistake, but it is about giving them enough time. And once they had that space and the time, you can try to make them realize the fact that yes, there is some issue, this has happened, there is a misunderstanding, miscommunication that has gone through. You can try to understand. But the fifth thing that you can do is, sometimes some relationship, it's like a broken jar. It's hard to fix it back. In most of the cases, I would say like 60 to 70% of the time, particularly some people, they don't want to come back, because it's not easy for every person to handle that particular situation. So what happens is, they don't come back. So in that moment, please don't chase them. It's really not a good idea to go ahead and chase them and make them follow them and torture them so much, or just blocking them for some reason. Do not do at either of their ends. This is actually not advisable. But the best thing that you can do is let them go. See, if someone is coming in your life, there is a purpose behind that from the universe. So whatever the belief system that you have, you need to understand the fact, the person, if they really wanted you, they are going to come back to you. It is not that you are trying to impress so much after something has happened. Let them go, give them that particular space, is what I could definitely say. And the final thing I would suggest you is, for your own benefit, what people do, they actually get into so many things. Number one is they get into drugs. Number two is they actually start getting all the smoking kind of thing, the extreme of any kind of thing that they wanted to do for their own body, spoiling their own health. And then they feel like, yeah, this is the good thing that I'm doing in the physique and everything. But they don't realize the fact that when you actually wanted to recover yourself first, because you are sunken. So what you have to do is, first thing, go ahead and do some kind of a progression. You can do some exercise, because when your body moves, the emotion changes, situation will change, you will get a better thing, your mind will freshen up. So move your body. That's the first thing that I would suggest. And the next thing is, think of a permanent solution to come out of that broken relationship, emotion, the depression that you're facing. So what you need to do is, some people, I get some clients, they keep saying like, I am actually keeping myself so busy that I don't think about that particular person. But however, understand this, when you're lonely, when you're alone at night, or some even during the day, during some kind of a break, you still wanted to actually you will be thinking about that particular person, because it's our mind is kind of a monkey mind. Whatever that we don't want to think, that's the first thing that comes in our mind. So that's not a fix. You, where you're trying to keep yourself busy, is not a fix, but rather you can understand that focus your complete concentration on something that you wanted to do in life. Maybe that you are not doing it for a very long time. Maybe you wanted to follow with your passion. Maybe you wanted to follow something that your focus is completely into some other kind of a project or anything that you wanted to achieve in your life, so that you don't get distracted. Of course, it is not easy in the beginning, but you can still go ahead and do that. Okay, right. Having said all that things, you can, what, some things are much better. Prevention is better than cure when it comes to a relationship issue. So what can you do in terms of um, prevent such kind of issue if you know you are on a verge of some kind of issue that is happening? Because nowadays, what this generation of people don't understand so many things in life, that they hardly find time to realize what is happening around them and then come out of it. So the quick fix, I would say, is 6 things. Let's first understand. First, communication is the key. You need to be able to communicate in such a way that you are clear in whatever that you wanted to converse with the other person, so that the other person understands you in a much better way. Even if there is some kind of a misunderstanding, please realize that words has the power to make other person understand you. So you may not be a very good speaker, you don't need to be a very good speaker, but understanding in a relationship, you should be well enough to make the other person understand in whatever words you use, whatever the actions that you do, that the other person, the other party, is able to see through what is your inner intention for them. So that is the number one thing you need to do. Second thing is empathize. Please empathize. Please understand the other person, what kind of situation they will be having. How am I hurting the other person? Am I really so rude to them? Sometimes we don't think about ourselves when it comes to an argument. So empathize. That's the second thing. Third thing is take responsibility. Understand the fact that whatever has happened, do the right action. Take responsibility. If the mistake has happened, go ahead and get apology. If even the mistake is not yours, I would still suggest go ahead, and because you value the person. It's not the just one scenario shouldn't change your complete life, complete entire good memories that you had with them. Okay, so take responsibility in whatever that you're doing. Then the fourth thing that you need to do is understand the fact, practice gratitude. When you're practicing gratitude, you internally started to feel that yes, these are the best moments I had with this person. Just because this particular thing happened, I started behaving like this. You will have your own realization happening when you start practicing gratitude. And of course, the fifth thing I would say is anybody and everybody should practice journaling, because it's a kind of a saver for every person in life. You will start understanding yourself more, and for the fact like where exactly I'm pouring so much of my emotion. So journaling and gratitude, in case of your broken relationship, or you are on a verge of getting your relationship broken, please go ahead and do the journaling and gratitude. It's definitely going to help you. And of course, the sixth thing is, sometimes what happens, we don't understand the fact that it is the emotion, that's the energy that we pour in so much to the other person without realizing. Start putting your energy in a positive way. You can do some exercise, indulge yourself in some kind of a sport. So the moment, I actually recommended this to one of my clients. There was a husband and wife relationship, was about to get broken, and the husband and wife every day used to get some kind of a fight. So I advised the male, the husband, that every day once you come back home, just get yourself in whatever the sports that you wanted to indulge in, go and do that particular. So he said, I wanted to play cricket. So I said, every morning or in the evening, pick up your friends or colleagues, go ahead and play cricket. So he started following that for 2 weeks. Then what happened, he didn't had enough energy to fight back with the wife. So the moment he comes back, he eats the dinner, refresh himself, eats the dinner, and writes the journaling, and then he slept back. So he said there was some kind of a peace that was happening because no energy persists for them to fight. Of course, you know what, when your physique changes, when your body moves, you will become a completely different person. This is something that you need to, go through it in order for you to realize that. I hope you found this podcast or video really useful. Okay, so please go ahead and use these particular simple hacks in your relationship, and you know what, live a fuller and a happier life. All right, thank you so much for watching. Take care.